Rule. This is the Link to the Past Randomizer Open League Playoffs. Hello, everybody. My name is Dr. Bobtastic, and joining me, I've got my trackers, Drossi and Arya Stark, putting up with all of my shenanigans. We've got a race here between the Psyduck-Psychos and the Blue Trinexx group. This is going to be an all dungeons co-op seed, meaning every dungeon has to be cleared. That includes Aga's Tower and Ganon's Tower, and we will be starting momentarily. All right, so we've got Bombos in Link's house and a small key in Sanctuary. One of the things that's not true about this, that's true about, say, some of the other modes we've been running in this tournament, the keys are not shuffled. So that key is, in fact, a key to Hyrule Castle. Alright, well, Uncle has a bottle, so that's going to be useful for checking Sick Kid here in a minute. Meanwhile, we've got just a bit of junk in the Lost Woods hideout, and a red boomerang there in the Uncle's Tunnel chest. And in a, completely not shocking at all development, runners who went to Uncle are going over to the eastern area. A couple of bombs, or one bomb at least between them, that's enough to get Sahasrah's closet at the very least. Did see a map check there. I did not quite see what it was. Alright, so we're going to be seeing a lot of items coming very quickly. We got Blind's Hut and the back of Sahasrah's closet. That is a flute, if I'm not mistaken. There in the back of Sahasrah's closet. Yep. So we will be seeing that shortly. And we've got powder and a big 300 rupees. So for money purposes, we'll be all set. Interestingly enough, Yoshi from Psyduck-Psychos is headed over to Eastern Palace with just 3 hearts and nothing else. I did see that Eastern was in fact a pendant, so now again, you're going to have to do it either way because it's all dungeons, but I don't feel quite as bad dipping a pendant dungeon as I do a crystal dungeon. Alright, we've got the well here. Not anything of note just yet. We have a piece of heart and a shield. There's a hammer and another shield. So, unless you're a fan of shields, you don't want to open everything, but that wonderful hammer is super important. Our bottle vendor is a full heart, which is nice to know about, especially if you're running low on health. Titos is doing the back of the tavern here, and we'll also be able to check the Sick Kid, unlike his partner here. Alright, just a piece of heart for Sick Kid, so nothing super relevant. Alright, big key for Psyduck-Psychos. For or Yoshi, that is. And he's gonna go ahead and go for the dark room here. So just gonna clear out as much of Eastern as possible. And everybody, please say hi to the swag duck. Alright, Magic Bat taken care of. A piece of heart. Tito's gonna go ahead and go for that hammer. Like you do. That's another medallion there on the library. It looked like ether, perhaps? Only kind of saw it out of the corner of my eye. Alright. So nothing super relevant at the well. Tito's going to head over to Mini Moldorm Cave here. I said well, I meant dam. At the dam. That's where he went. Yeah, both runners who didn't go to Saha are immediately heading there on account of, hey, there's this thing called a flute that we need. Also, shout outs to good B strats in Mini Moldorm Cave. But once again, nothing super duper relevant. Oh, except a pearl. I missed the very first chest. And then I saw the pearl. Hi. Yeah. So when I say that, I mean pearl is actually very, very relevant. Kind of gatekeeps most of the Dark World. Oh, that is a straight up gross book in Ice Rod Cave. Imagine Tito's gonna head over to 6 now. There's a lamp sitting on the desert ledge, so yeah, we'll take those. Especially when it's our only torch lighting fire source. And, I mean, we have this other fire source, which is Bombos, but you can't do anything with it without a sword, so. And meanwhile, Bumble is checking the front of Escape, which is a non-trivial thing to check. Now, with the small key in Sanctuary, it could, and the lamp sitting here on the desert ledge, it could very well be that, say, the glove is in the back of Escape, and it's the only way to get there. In fact, it seems quite likely at this point. Not gonna lie. Tito's electing not to check the torch because I'm pretty sure, based on the fact that that was not a small key, that the torch has to be a small key. Or a big key. Either way, can't do anything with it. Alright, so Tito's grabs the lamp. Gonna go ahead and go for Gina's Cave here while you're at it. Because why not? Really, with these co-op ADs, it's mostly about just kind of being as thorough in the beginning as you can, as efficiently as you can, and then sort of zeroing in on the last thing you need. So Nina's Cave, empty. All of the front of Escape, basically empty. And Ascend from Blue Trinexx group is going to take a death, probably go through the back of Escape here, which is, shall we say, fun. Now I said, you know, the lamp being there and the small key being in Sanctuary. What I'm saying there is that's what the logic would expect. Because the logic would expect you to have the lamp or possibly the fire rod to get through the back of Escape. But Ascend is just going to do that without the lamp. It's kind of a glaringly obvious logical trip here. At this point, Tito's ain't got much else to do except, I mean, he can go into Eastern. That's about it. Right. It is in logic by proxy, which is why he's going for it. Like, you wouldn't do this, like, just blind, usually, if you didn't have a very good reason. Luckily, this isn't any sort of, you know, escape, or, sorry, words. Luckily, this isn't any sort of weird entrance randomizer or anything, and so you're only dealing with the light world version of these enemies. Yeah, because the rats and snakes in the dark world are quite painful. Yeah, it's kind of obnoxious for the Psyduck-Psychos just now learning that the back of Escape is in logic. That's a bow and a glove. Okay, so I was like, are they going to make you do Eastern now? But no, bow and glove in the back of Escape, leading to our Dark World access, potentially. Yeah, Ascend needs to go get that Moon Pearl out of... Oh, was it here in the dam? Am I just dumb? Oh no, that's just a free bottle. We'll take those. Free bottle with blue potion. Heck yeah. Well, what with that bow and glove situation, you know, I wouldn't be surprised to see a trip over to good old-fashioned pod at some point. Alright, so Ascend doing bow strats on mini Moldorms, which is not the world's most reliable thing, let's just put it that way. Moon Pearl is right there in the first chest of mini Moldorm Cave. Alright, and Blue Trinexx, or Ascend from Blue Trinexx group, is going to go ahead and take that and go directly into the Dark World. Meanwhile, Tito's is going to follow and grab that glove in the back as well. We're going to get ourselves a Hype Cave check. Alrighty. And Yoshi finally gets the glove as well. And Bumble immediately pieces out. Alright, we see Pod and Swamp are our other two pendants. The green one being at Pod. I did see the number 6 crystal at Ice Palace, and I didn't notice where the other 5-6 crystal was. Looking like Turtle Rock, according to our trackers. Wonderful tracker situation. Alright, Ascend is now heading west to the Dig Game from the initial Hype Cave entrance, which is not surprising. Looks like Tito's is trying to get some 50-50 bomb drops here. Which makes some sense on account of not having a whole ton of money. Especially if you're planning on going to Pod, you do need some amount of money. Meanwhile, Yoshi also heading into the Dark World, but here, we're going for the pyramid check. There we go. Tito's coming in here for the extra money. Oh, and there is a sword on the pyramid. Yes, please. Give sword. Alright. Good old random number generation. What are you gonna do? Alright, so Yoshi is heading for Palace of Darkness, and so is Tito's here. So we're gonna have some dueling pod situation. Meanwhile, Ascend is heading into Skull Woods. No small key in the first chest of Skullwood, so you're going to have to go to the back if you want to proceed. Or take a hole. And it looks like Ascend is having none of it. Alright, Yoshi into Pod slightly before Tito's. There's a pack of bombs on Bumper Cave, so nothing super important there. Oh, not a small key in the first chest of pods. So this was a 100% bow-locked pod by logic here. When I say 100%, I mean 100% of the relevant items. Then finding a cane of Burna in the brewery in Village of Outcasts. Very true. The bow and the access to getting to Pod were quite close to each other, and if you didn't pick up both when you got there, I don't know what you did. No surprises here, 2 small keys on the right side of Pod. It looks like Ascend is headed into Thieves Town. So Thieves Town already providing us with a small key and a compass, so 2 of the dungeon items out of the way. All I have to say to that comment is please rando responsibly. Alright, so there's 3 items in the back of Thieves Town. It looks like Bumble will be joining Ascend in Thieves Town shortly. So no super ridiculous surprises here. And like you do, been picking up just a whole ton of small keys in the front of Pod. It might have been. I think there might have been another item. Yeah, five key front seems right. Yo, there's a mirror in Pod, which is very nice to find because you can just mirror and finish Eastern while you're at it. And we have a cape in the Harmless Hellway. And our runners can, in fact, go the old-fashioned way through the Dark Maze here. I've gotten to the point where I'm so used to doing hammer jump that if I don't have the lamp, I'm doing hammer jump anyway because I forget how to go through here the normal way. In the dark, anyway. There's our big key. Ooh. Flippers have occurred. Yeah. It would definitely be to my detriment if I did hammer jump in this particular situation. Alright, Tito's and Yoshi once again finishing off Pod here. Both of them roughly about as distant as they were coming in. I think Yoshi might have gained a little bit of time. Alright, Ascend doing hammer blind strats, which is not something I envy. It's going to really throw off your game. In fact, only one of our runners has acquired a sword. That's on the pyramid, and only one of our runners knows, or I guess both of Psyduck-Psychos know where they are, of course, because they're sharing information. Yeah, the blue cane is a nice strat. Oh, we got half magic at some point, and I didn't notice. Tea house. All right. So that makes sense. No, there's several Invitational League matches running today. In fact, one will be running directly after this on this channel. Yeah, so there's 3 whole matches all today in the Invitational League. And absolutely no surprises to anyone. Both runners who just finished Pod and got the mirror are in fact finishing Eastern while they're at it. Because you gotta do it. It's all dungeons. Alright, so Yoshi from Psyduck-Psychos about to face off against the Armless Knights here. Then from Blue Trinexx group gonna head up to Zora, which we haven't seen yet. Just some bombs on Armless. And that mirror, of course, grants access to quite a few things. Some of which would include, say, Tower of Hera / most of Death Mountain. A few mirror checks from the Dark World. Quite a few things. Silvers in the waterfall, very nice. Oh my goodness, that is the Titan's mitts on the green pendant turn-in. So, this is like super linear, this seed. Like, it's really hard to get an advantage. Like, holy crap. Tito's also going to be picking up that glove soon. So yeah, now Tito's and Yoshi both have access to basically all of Death Mountain, both light and dark. With the minor exception of this tablet, which you can just read, but that's fine because it's garbage. Interestingly enough, Cheetos, instead of going for Death Mountain, is going to the Mire area. The Quake for Mire entrance, which I'm not sure we've seen, unless that was the one on the library. Again, I'm not super certain whether that was Quake or Ether. Okay, so our tracker, who is better at this than I am, says it was Quake. I'm gonna believe that. That is very true. Psyduck-Psychos can in fact go to Ice Palace pretty soon. And of course, we know with the Bombos situation, Fire Rods has to be in there, which is not entirely true, but it's a little more likely. Alright, so the Matte Compass special here on the second, or the, what's this, like, technically the 4th floor of Hera? But you technically come into Hera on the 2nd floor. The basement is labeled as 1F. And it's at least consistent with the exterior, because you go up some stairs onto the 2nd floor. So there's definitely an item down in the basement. We will see if either runner decides to go for it. Honestly, the way I'm seeing it, because of how linear this is, both of the runners that have the mitts are so far ahead of their counterparts, I would go for it. I think the seed's winning. Other than that, it's basically a dead heat right now. Like, there's almost no difference. I think Yoshi's slightly ahead of Tito's. And Bumble's slightly ahead of his end. So a slight lead to Psyduck-Psychos right now, but not a insurmountable one. The main difference here being Psyduck-Psychos knows where a sword is. It's on the pyramid, which is kind of out of the way if you're not, you know, bent on going there. Alright. Oh yeah, there. I did say you could do all of the Dark World Death Mountain. I was, slightly forgetting Hookshot Cave being a thing. You do, in fact, at least need a hookshot or boots to get anything in there. Alright, so Ether for Turtle Rock, so see where that goes. Yeah, basically now all of our runners have managed to get the ridiculous treasure trove that is Pod, although they are going to need to finish it as well, because the green pendant turn-in are those mitts. Now, Tito's did find a sword in Paradox Cave, which is always... Oh, and a second sword in Paradox Cave, so that'll be... And a third sword... Game, I'm trying to talk here. I'm trying to say words, and you just keep interrupting me. Well, I don't think our runners are going to be hurting for swords anymore. Fire Rod and Spiral Cave, what? Wow. Alright, so Tito's going to use the block method to get up through Super Bunny Cave. I imagine there'll be a trip through Spiral Cave on the way up, or on the way back. And this can make sense on account of you're not going to be able to do anything in Hookshot Cave anyway. Oh, I guess Cheetos is going to go check Turtle Rock Medallion. Like, what in the world are you doing? Right, that. Alright, so Tito's will be picking up that fire rod shortly. So I guess we're not going to find that in Ice Palace, but very possible that, say, Boots could be there. Though they could also be, say, in Skull Woods or any number of random locations throughout the world. We definitely need some Boots at some point. We know Desert's Boots locked. We know that we believe Meyer is Boots locked. So yeah, some runners electing to go, or Tito's and Yoshi both electing to take that, and I'm assuming Skull Woods is the first thing on the agenda, and then perhaps the mirror checks in the area. So while Tito's is going for the middle chest here, Yoshi is going to head to the back straight away. Find a big key in the big key chest, as is tradition. Going straight for the boss here is not a surprise at all. Alright, so Bumble and Ascend both making their way through Eastern Palace to finish that off, and then once they're finally done, they'll be able to go grab those mitts. And they'll have quite a few things to take care of. This is turning out very linear, and our runners are having to just kind of go back, or the second runners are pretty much having to follow in the footsteps of the first runners, which is kind of not the way you want things to go in a co-op seed. No, they didn't find the second item yet. They're just going to the boss first, because if the boss had the item, then they're done. Or, okay, they found one item. And it's basically equally likely, or basically it's equal time even if you haven't found any items. Just go to the boss because you know you have to do it, and then come back in here, hit the chest, and mirror. Yeah. Alright. Yoshi gonna go ahead and give us a little ped check here. Nope. I mean, it wouldn't have surprised me that that ped happened. Just because we've already got 2 of the 3 pendants. But the third pendant is Swamp, which requires the hook shot. Although we are in the unenviable position of Swamp being half open. Alright, Tito's going for Ice Palace now. Yeah, I guess he didn't actually find the second item in Skull Woods. I guess he just left. There's the first item in ice, just a pack of bombs. Of course, no cane here, so... And still not going to bite Tito's, because that is a heart as the second item in Skull Woods. And while Ascend is checking out the blacksmith, purple chest, all that mess combo. Okay, shoveling good old K45. Adding 1 step to the trip, thank you. At least it's fresh on your mind. Alright, that does look right. The Ice Palace bomb jump. There's Ether sitting in the graveyard ledge. So, can confirm it was Quake on the library now. Yeah, do definitely need to have that Ether. Literally can't do anything in Turtle Rock right now, even if you did have stick hover skills. Oh, and Ascend found that hook shot in the dig spot, and the cane in the purple. Game! Slow down. Don't actually slow down. This is great. I love it. And Ascend from Blue Trinexx Group is going to check Bombo's tablet here and not be... there will be no problem with the lack of sword situation here. Big key in ice. Alright, so Ascend is going up to the mountain, I'm assuming just to pick up swords. Oh, and you can also check Hookshot Cave, so there's that. I guess with the cane, well, these runners have not, or Blue Trinexx group has not found Ether yet, so. Yeah, there were some Zora checks. Right, so Yoshi from the Psyduck-Psychos is about to do those blacksmith purple chest chains as well, so we'll get quite rewarded for that. Bumble is checking Spike Cave while they're up here. And Yoshi locating the hook shot. Tito's wanting nothing to do with this cold stare getting up in your face. Send is going to be the first of our runners to check Hookshot Cave. Which unfortunately does not have anything relevant. Alright, so Yoshi picking up the Cane of Samaria. Yoshi's going to get a little bit of an advantage now if they're the first ones to decide to go to Ice Palace on that team. Yeah, Bumble's like, oh, Smith Chain, that's a thing now. Alright, Swamp Palace for Yoshi, and probably for Ascend here too. Meanwhile, Tito's also going to go grab the Smith Chain stuff. I didn't realize you could walk through that house. I'm a dumb. Moving on. So yes, Bumble going ahead to just jump down here because there's no real reason to stay in the Dark World, especially if you're toting that chest around. You can just flute right over to 7. Yeah, so Ether's on Graveyard Ledge, and that's a pretty big deal considering Turtle Rock is behind it. And if our runners don't get, if Blue Trinexx group doesn't find that soon, they're going to be on a bit of a journey looking for it. Though, I mean, to be fair, they have done most everything else. They haven't done like Catfish or Pyramid. Yeah, ideally in your co-op seeds, you want to be able to have something a little bit open so that both players can contribute to finding things and clearing things. But this seed has just been quite linear in its decisions. Boots can be in Turtle Rock. They can't be in Mire. Alright, so there was an ice rod in the back of Swamp. So Yoshi decided to check left side Swamp, and there's the boots in the big chest of Swamp. Oh my. That is some unfortunate shenanigans right there for some people. Well, Quake is on the library, so... I mean, not technically go mode, but you have all the knowledge. It's not even no mode for us, it's no mode for them. Now, unfortunately, it does look like Blue Trinexx group might just be peacing out from this dungeon. I mean, I'm assuming Big Key was on the left side. Oh, no. Tito's is going for it. Well, he was. And he got bodied. Alright, so Bumble is now headed to Swamp. Alright, Sen doing an icebreaker there. A little bit of a pause buffer strat, which, to be honest, I haven't really ever seen. But we'll take it. Tito's will be heading to left side Swamp. But unfortunately, Ascend will have to come back in and do the same. Pedestal was just a piece of heart, so nothing, no big deal. Both. This is an all dungeon seed, so they got to do the pendant dungeons anyway. But we did find out what it had. All right, Send finishing off Cold Stare there with the half magic fire rod, and Yoshi gonna join the Cold Stare Beatdown Club. Though with Butter Sword, you just got to get in there with a few slashes, and you're good to go. Tito's has acquired the boots now, and Ascend is reacting in a, what I'm assuming is, fashion. Why do I have to go back to Swamp? Yeah, Yoshi is going to go ahead and grab the silver arrows, which I believe all the runners did in fact do. So we won't have any silverless situation. And then one of our teams will just be without the Butter Sword. That's generally okay. With the silvers being right there once you're in ice, it's definitely something you want to do. Alright, Yoshi is gonna go through Thieves Town here. I believe there wasn't anything super relevant in Thieves Town, so we're just looking for the big key. Yoshi grabbed the small key, I'm assuming to make the back a little faster. Shoutouts to Slow Rom with that lag there. Yeah. That key grabbed entirely intentionally. Alright, Tito's picked up the Quake Medallion. So Cheetos is now able to pick up Quake and head to Mire. They're going to be looking for Ether. They're still not going to find it here because it's at the Graveyard Ledge, which is another out-of-the-way location. Alright, so Send has just acquired that big key and going for the boots here. Having already completed Swamp, Send can just bail. Yoshi going for the blind fight. Ooh, that's kind of annoying. Doing the King Soon Bankrupt checks without doing Graveyard Ledge. Unless Ascend goes right back to Dark Hole, we're gonna have an interesting situation. Okay, gonna go for a Lumberjack check here. Alright, so Ascend is fluting away. Where is he fluting to? Moving to 3, then heading south. To pick up Quake, of course. Bumble having just picked up the Ether Medallion. Bumble also needs to go ahead and finish Skull Woods. Shouldn't be a problem. In this scenario, you just go for the small key and just head to the back. But do make sure you actually go for the small key. Tito's with some nice spookiness. Yes, Bumper Ledge has been checked. It's just bombs. I believe Blue Trinexx group did see that as well. Send is doing Desert Palace now. Yoshi from Psyduck-Psychos pulling off a very quick run through Mire. Which I imagine will be followed by an immediate finishing of Desert. Very, very quick destruction of eyeballs there on account of Butter Sword situation. And another crystal for Psyduck-Psychos, or for Yoshi. So a quick clear of Desert, and then it'll be off to Turtle Rock and GT. Tito's will be the first of our runners to finish Desert here, but Yoshi from Psyduck-Psychos will be right behind. Tito's employing big old-fashioned silver arrow strats, and by old-fashioned I mean not at all. I'll Bumble doing the spooky times here. Or at least attempting. Alright, so Tito's, having not found what he wanted in Mire, is now going for what I can only assume is exactly Graveyard Ledge. Well, no, he's got to do Thieves Town, so. Yeah, I guess he's gonna let Ascend do some searching while he finishes out this dungeon. Whoops. Tito's accidentally forgetting to grab the big key there. I mean, let's be fair, I'd be tilted at this point. Alright, Yoshi headed for Turtle Rock. Bumble will also head to Turtle Rock right after this. Desert play. Now, of course, Yoshi has Tower of Hera finished, whereas Bumble does not, so Bumble will have to do Tower of Hera before going into GT. So Yoshi from the Psyduck-Psychos looks like it's gonna happen for Yoshi here. Yoshi first into Turtle Rock. We'll get to see what the key layout is. That's really the only thing that determines what you open in here. You really gotta almost assuredly open the first so many chests here in Turtle Rock. Big key and small key, so that's pretty optimal. If somehow there's another small key in say the Chain Chomp chest, this will be actually optimal. No such luck. And Yoshi does take a death from the chomps. That's what having 8 hearts does to you. But still, that's a minor setback. A few seconds. Not even a minute. And at least you did get the contents of the chest, so he doesn't have to reopen it. Now that's just obnoxious. With the enemies knocking him off the platform. And there we go. Tito's has now found the Ether Medallion. And Ascend is like, really? Alright, so Bumble picking up those keys as well. Psyduck-Psychos, Yoshi finds a small key in the Crystal Roller Room, which is quite the relief. Not going to have to go to Laser Bridge at all. And honestly, I definitely wouldn't. Not even if I wanted something else at this point. Well, maybe if I was looking for like a sword, but they're not even close to looking for a sword. They found all the swords. Way too many swords, all at the same time. Alright, looks like for a brief moment we will have all of our runners inside Turtle Rock at the same time. I mean, unless Yoshi is super fast here. I mean, let's be fair, he's pretty fast. Getting the 1 cycle. Can be a 0 cycle with the gold sword here if you know what you're doing. That's not something I've actually learned how to do yet. Alright, so Yoshi has finished off Turtle Rock, so we'll be heading to GT immediately after this. You can guess what numbers you think the big key's going to be in, if you so desire. I mean, I'm probably not going to keep track of it, but feel free to do the bragging rights amongst yourselves. That is going to be Yoshi entering Yen's tower. Piece of heart in the first chest, map in the second. Will be unable to go right even if you wanted to. Small key on the torch. Number 3. as we head over to the Stolfos room. Full heart, small key, bombs, and another small key. Psyduck goes for ether, or Yoshi goes for ether strats, and we're going to go ahead and head down the left side. I imagine Yoshi will finish off finding the big key. Well, there we go. In the map chest. Have fun. I'm gonna say Yoshi's gonna have this thing found before Bumble gets in here, on account of the fact that Bumble needs to go to Hera first. The map chest was it. And that actually was chest number 8, so Mifflin88 there being the one who actually typed in 8 before it happened. Yeah, so Psyduck-Psychos are pretty well in the lead here. Commanding is probably correct, but it's not like in terms of time, it's not like the most lead I've ever seen, right? It's still only going to be like a minute, a couple minutes, maybe 3. Maybe 5. It's all relative, right? In the context of this race, yeah, it's a pretty strong lead. In the context of like the greater scheme of things, it's not that bad. What I'm saying is, the Blue Trinexx group, despite being decidedly behind, shouldn't feel bad about their play or their run. You know what I mean? Alright, so Bumble will be the third runner to enter GT. And again, no real reason to check anything on the way up here. Certainly wouldn't fault anybody for that. Like powdering that anti-fairy is. Okay, come on, dude. So you powdered the fairy, but didn't pick up the fairies. Sure. I mean, yeah, they didn't exactly cooperate by going exactly the way you wanted. Alright, Yoshi, about to reach good old agonometry situation. And Yoshi will be taking this run to the Ganon fight. Now we got silvers Shouldn't be a bad fight at all. Though I would be concerned about that 6 health situation. I want to make sure not to get just completely wrecked. Oh, I see. Oh, right. Aga Tower is a thing. I did. I mean, I mentioned at some point during this seed we're going to have to do Aga Tower, and I knew in the back of my head that's the sort of thing you need to do after GT, but I'm a dumb, so there you go. Yeah, definitely not going to need to be worried about that health situation, because you'll just get a refill after Aga Tower. Yoshi now heading up to the red guard floor of Aga Tower. And that's not like the official name of it, but it's the floor with all the red guards on it that you have to kill. So there you go. Psyduck-Psychos didn't even bother to pick up the powder at one point, so not gonna have to worry about that. Psyduck-Psychos taking out Moldorm 2. Bumble right behind. So yeah, definitely looking... Oof! Well... I mean, even with that fall, still looking like Bumble will be the third runner to finish, and with Yoshi being the first runner to finish, the time calculation will be basically irrelevant. The only time the time calculation is really relevant is when one runner finishes and then the other team, both runners finish, and then the fourth runner who was on the first team finishes. So both Tito's and Bumble in the Aga 2 room at the same time, while Yoshi in the Aga 1 room. Has a lot of Agas on the screen, correct. Alright, Yoshi finally into the Ganon fight. As stated before, got a nice refill, so don't really have to worry about that. Just gonna slash Ganon a few times and then start applying silver arrows once the room is lit up. No real need to bother with the torch glitch. Yoshi takes down Ganon. Should be finishing quite soon. And there we go. Yoshi finishes with an official time of 1 hour, 25 minutes, and 46 seconds. So to have a chance here, Tito's and Ascend would both need to finish before Bumble. And it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Bumble now reaching the Aga Tower Zelda room here as well. As we stated before, we saw 3 of the unfortunate blue projectiles. That'll finish it off right there. Yeah, that's why I was being mostly quiet there, is because I was distracted by the Donkey Kong Country Boss song. That's all I'm saying. Now, Tito's and Ascend both on Tempered Sword, not Butter Sword. They could theoretically get another sword if they just, walk down from the pyramid a little bit. But of course, there's no reason to do that. Bumble falling into the Ganon fight as well. So while it's possible Tito's may finish before Bumble, it does look like Bumble will finish before Ascend, and that will put the nail in the coffin for this run. Alright, Tito's finishing with an official time of 1 hour, 29 minutes, and 16 seconds. Meanwhile, Bumble just now into phase 3 of Ganon. And Ascend is into the Aga 2 fight, or the Aga 1 fight. The second Aga fight. Should be finishing quite soon. Did in fact not get the torch glitch. There we go, Bumble finishing off again as well. Should be done rather shortly. And Bumble finishes with an official time of 1 hour 30 minutes and 22 seconds, which does in fact solidify the win for Psyduck-Psychos, and that means this match is going to a game 3. It's true. Game 2 is live. So there's a lot of times in this, because the way the format works, one team selects the mode for Game 1 and the players, and then the other team selects their players, and then another team selects the mode. The other team selects the mode for Game 2 and selects their players, and so it's possible that the scheduling for the players works out such that Game 2 needs to take place before Game 1. It happens. Ooh, and narrowly dodging a fire bat there that could have spelled disaster. I mean, I don't really know how fire bats tend to spell, but there we go. Send finishing off as well. Oh, is that the Golden Sun sound? And there we go. Ascend finishing with an official time of 1 hour 32 minutes and 5 seconds, and that is going to do it for our match here. Psyduck-Psychos taking the win here. There's one game left in the series. We will see who decides to join us today. So we do have both Ascend and Titos with us. We'll see if the Psyduck-Psychos will also join us here in a bit, but for now, hello and welcome.
Hi. GG.
Yeah, that was a thing, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it's
so
kind of thing you don't want to see as a co-op, right? Because like it's super linear early on, so whatever the other guy's doing is not really contributing. You really want to get sort of multiple prongs of progress, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so we just realized we skipped the sword on Pyramid.
Yep.
That would have definitely been a thing for us to, or at least for me to skip the lamp a little bit longer. But I was not comfortable without any sword or anything to really orient myself in port. So I invested the time to just get the lamp. Yeah, otherwise we perhaps would have been a little bit shorter behind. And then we skipped Heavy Ledge for too long, I think.
But when did they fight the Easter?
So the Graveyard Ledge for them was, I know it was before they went into Swamp and all that mess. It was pretty early. Not early, but basically whoever went to Village of Outcasts second, I think, also took care of that. I think it was part of the Smith Chain thing. So did that first, then went and did Smith Chain. And so they had that, and of course the Yoshi went and did Left Side Swamp first thing. So Boots were on their first go, and unfortunately not for y'all. I am glad that Cheetos, you decided to go ahead and do Left Side Swamp after.
Yeah, it was a hard decision because I died there on the way and said, I don't want to do this. we had to plan to play a little bit more aggressive. That's why we left like pyramid and catfish and graveyard ledge
Yeah,
open
and
to the end.
let's see, other things you skipped. I know you skipped the second item in Skull Woods.
Right.
Just a whole lot of things that actually ended up working out pretty well for you. It's just that one thing on Graveyard Ledge that didn't.
Yeah, that's rando.
Yep, rando's gonna rando. That's what you're gonna do. And I'm not gonna lie, just an all dungeon seed where everybody finishes in about an hour and 32 minutes seems pretty good to me. I don't really care who did what. You know what I mean?
I think how the items were located, it's okay-ish time. I had some brain hiccups here and there and lose some time, but yeah. I think the main thing is the overall route, what decided the game here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Ether Medallion was kind of the big one. The boots were slightly less big, but still a thing. If it weren't for the fact that the boots came before Ether for y'all, right? Of course,
Yeah, right. There were
additional
checks, open mire, also the bonk rocks, things to. Of course, this cost some time.
Yeah, we knew things were gonna go pretty poorly for y'all when you decided to do King's Tomb and bonk rocks without Graveyard Ledge. We were like, oh no.
Yeah, I got them a little bit more late and decided then to save and quit, and instead at least check them fast, because I think they're in this way they are faster. You don't need to mirror back and forth. So did them and checked Lumberjack on this way. Yeah, so I isolated a little bit more there, but wanted to wait for a little bit for Titos to say if there's anything in Maya at go mode, or if we could find them there. Then the boots were blocking both medallions, so to say, I hope for. So I checked them fast.
Yep.
Yeah, it's random. We decided wrong.
Alright, well, it does look like our winners for this round, the Psyduck-Psychos, are not going to be able to join us for an interview. So that's okay. Do you know anything about a potential Game 3 here?
No, we did not discuss anything, because we just scheduled Game 1 and Game 2. So we decided which mode and which players. So at least I can say the last players will be ALTTPR and myself for our team, and I think it would be Bumble and Crackerito on the other side, because we are the ones that the pairs that did not play. Which mode? I don't know. They have the right to choose.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think it's their choice. So yeah, you got whatever that is to look forward to. Good luck coming up, and I don't know how this is gonna go. I think there's a chance that if my team wins, we would face one of y'all in the next round. I don't know, but we'd have to win, and so we'll see. But either way, good luck in the next game, whenever that is.
Thank you. Also to you, good luck in the next game.
Anything else you'd like to say before we wrap it up here?
Just thank you for the restream and for and to the trackers, which I think came up shortly before the race. It's always a thing. So yeah, thank you for that, and thank you for your commentary, Doctor. And I would say from my side, this would be everything, and wish everyone a nice day.
Yeah, also from my side, thank you for the restream, and also thanks for the whole crew who handled this.
All right. Yes. Once again, thank you to all of our runners for putting on an excellent show. If you like what you saw here, there's a link to all of their channels there in the description. You should put a follow on them, because why not? And I also want to do, again, a big shout out to Drossi and Arya Stark for putting on, or for doing the tracking today, because I can't keep track of things to save my life. Anyway, with that, we're going to go offline for just a little bit, and there will be another race on this channel immediately following this one in the Invitational League that I am also going to commentate. So I will see you all here in a minute, and with that, I'll just say I've been Dr. Bobtastic, and I will see you all at a slightly later occasion. Good afternoon, everybody.